Hey everybody, it's Darren with Evenbound. Today I want to talk to you about prompt engineering. It's a ways you can work with large language models like ChatGPT, specific techniques you can use to enhance the outcomes of some of your AI content. Things like content creation to customer interaction, sentiment analysis, persona ideation. There's a lot of things you can use ChatGPT and other large language models for in your everyday tasks as a digital marketer or revenue operations specialist. So today I'm going to talk to you about some of the more prominent techniques for prompts and walk through a few examples with us. So the first one is called zero shot prompting. This is a method that basically relies on one prompt and the AI model's background training. So an example here would be, let's say we are an online internet provider, say Xfinity, and we have a bunch of reviews on a review site here, and we want to figure out, what's the overall sentiment for those reviews. Well, if you look at what that looks like, a zero shot prompt would be, can you review this page and provide an aggregate of the sentiment across those reviews. And you'll see, without any additional parameters or prompts, ChatGPT uses Bing to search the page and then provides an overall sentiment analysis. Not surprisingly for Xfinity, that's negative, and then it goes a little bit deeper where it talks through some of the positive feedback and then, more importantly, some of the details of the negative feedback. So zero shot prompt technique is basically just that. There's no additional context provided to the model before you give it your prompt. You provide it a quick prompt and you rely on the underlying training of that model to give you the output that you'd like. So the next prompting technique is what's known as few shot prompting. When you think of a shot is an example of a prompt and the expected output from that prompt. So one example here as a marketer is we may want to try and use a large language model like ChatGPT to help us brainstorm potential marketing personas for our brand. A really good use case would be to provide an example output of what that marketing persona should be to the model, and then ask it to create personas based around your brand, given that prompt shot that you've given the model. So if we look at HubSpot has a great blog here with some example personas. I've gone ahead and copied the output here of one of HubSpot's great personas examples for an app company. And then I've gone ahead and used that as an example for my few shot, or in this one shot case, prompt technique. So I've said, I'm launching a finance application and I need you to help me create 3 marketing personas. And then here's an example output. And then given that context, ChatGPT has gone ahead and given me 3 example personas for my fictitious financial marketing application that targets millennials, in the same output as HubSpot's example marketing personas. Things like demographics and then pain points that our product will address. And again, if we wanted to get more details or more specific on the persona outputs, like the channels of communication they prefer, we could go ahead and bake that into our example persona from Sarah here. Say she prefers social media platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn over TikTok and Snapchat. And then ChatGPT would add that into its outputs for the personas that it creates for us. So again, zero shot, the first example, is where you don't give any context in terms of what an output should look like to the model. And then few shot is where you're giving example outputs to the model as a part of your initial prompt. In this case, it's a one shot prompt because I'm giving it a one example output. And typically with really well-built large language models with tons of background information like ChatGPT, one shot or a few shots, like 5 example outputs, is more than enough to get the type of output from the model that you're looking for. The last technique I want to talk about is called chain of thought prompting. In this technique, rather than providing examples of the output you'd like to see from the model, you explain to it in detail how you'd like to go about reasoning through solving the problem that you've provided it. So if we look at the example I have here, I'm talking through planning a marketing campaign. So in this example, I have a fictitious eco-friendly skincare product line targeted at young adults. And I've said we need to maximize online engagement and conversions through social media platforms, and explain to GPT how we'll think through it step by step. So first we'll identify our target audience, we'll establish key messaging, we'll choose our platforms, identify engagement strategies for those platforms, as well as conversion tactics. And lastly, we'll craft measures of success or KPIs for our campaign. And then I say, based on this step-by-step breakdown, can you help me create a campaign covering aspects from audience identification to measuring success? And below, it's given us an output where it's identified our target audience, their interests, their behavior, key messaging, platforms, not surprisingly, Instagram and TikTok, along with Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest, engagement strategies, conversion tactics, and measures of success. And again, by no means do I think these outputs are all perfect, but I do think they are a really good start towards what you'd want to craft as a marketer. My mantra with AI is that humans are much better at finishing things than they are at starting things. And by leveraging some of these prompt techniques, you can get a really great start on things with AI and spend much less effort getting to that finished product. So hopefully with some of these techniques, you can use them in your day-to-day. I'm curious what others you've been using. Thanks again for following along, and look forward to next week's video.